Hello and welcome back, everyone. I am Natalie Schlute, your intuitive success coach, and today's episode is all about manifestation mastery. We're going to be talking about the art of allowing, which is so extremely important, because if we are not allowing things to be, if we are not allowing things into our life, then how do we ever expect to receive the manifestations that we are looking for, the goals that we want to reach, the interactions, the experiences that we want to create in our life, and the joy that we truly want to feel. This episode is all taking quotes and specific teachings directly out of the Law of Attraction book by Esther and Jerry Hicks, all the teachings from Abraham. And I'm so excited because there's so much wisdom there. And I think it's so valuable to take this wisdom and then give some great examples of how this applies into our everyday life. It is one thing to know and understand the law of attraction, the art of allowing, and all of that. It's another thing to actually apply it to your life so that you see the results. You actually feel more joy and manifest things faster, and you live a life truly by example of what you want to create in your life versus just tolerating things, putting up with things, and looking at your current reality and wondering why things aren't changing. If you truly love everything that has to do with law of attraction, developing your intuition, bettering yourself, and growing your own mindset, be sure to subscribe and also hit that bell so that you get notified every time I have a new episode for you. I'm going to assume if you're watching this episode, you already know what the law of attraction is, but just a quick review. The law of attraction teaches that there's a law that governs the universe that like attracts like energy, meaning everything is a magnet. Your thoughts and emotions are a magnet, and when you think negative thoughts, you attract more negative things into your life, not only more negative thoughts, but actually in your external environment. And the opposite is also true, and this is how we can really get the law of attraction to work for us, is when we show up as a more positive person, we are thinking better thoughts, we believe that things are drawing to us, and we actually feel happy and joy every day. Well, now we're going to attract more of those thoughts and feelings, but we're also going to attract more situations and life experiences and things into our reality that bring us more joy and abundance. In the last episode, I talked about the second law, the science of deliberate creation, how we are the creator of our own reality. This is a really awesome law because it teaches us that we are so freaking powerful. Like, we actually have total control over our life. We may not have control over every external thing outside of us, but you do have control over you, how you show up for your life. And that is truly what is going to allow you to master manifesting things that you truly desire into your life. Not just manifesting things by default because you're showing up as the same person every day, but intentionally choosing to be a better person so that you can create more of what you desire in your life. In this episode, we're talking about the third component of the law of attraction, which is the art of allowing. In order to actually draw things in, we have to allow things in. But part of that allowing is also allowing everything else in the universe to be as it is, to be okay with things as they are, even though there may be some things that we would like to see differently. So the definition of the art of allowing: when you can look into this world and feel joy all the time, you are an allower. When you are able to know which experiences contain joy and which ones do not, and you have the discipline to participate only where there is joy, you will achieve allowing. I realize that reading that statement is probably a little easier than just applying it to your life. There are a lot of things in this world, in this reality, that we don't enjoy. There are people being abused and hurt and raped. There are people that have no homes. There are people that are poor, and there's a lot of poverty in this world. But we also have to acknowledge that there is less extreme poverty on this planet than there ever has been in history. Things are getting better. Things are improving. But if we continue to focus our attention on the things that we don't enjoy, the things that we don't like, maybe the way COVID is influencing us at this point in time, if you're watching this when this video launches, or if you're the type of person who's really focusing on all the corruptness of what's going on in our political system and in our government, when we focus on our attention on all of those things, we're actually creating more things that we don't desire in our life. You're actually feeding to the power of those negative things. The difference is we can choose to look at those things, and we can choose to say, okay, those things are happening, but I have a choice to continue to feel bad about it, continue to add to the drama of it, continue to hate it and wish it wasn't happening and get angry and upset. But when you do that, you are actually creating more of that. You're feeding into the energy for more of that to happen. but also for you to be more affected by it. We have a choice because we are the attractor of our own reality, and whoever is involved in those situations, they are attracting their own reality. Those things are happening not because you need to be involved and you need to get upset and you need to be feeding into that energy. Those things are happening because the people involved have chosen to draw themselves into it. It may be an unconscious choice. I don't believe anyone chooses to be held at gunpoint. No one chooses to be attacked. No one chooses to be a victim of rape or some other horrible abuse. That's not a conscious choice that anyone is truly making. At least I don't believe so. But it happens because of the negativity. It happens because of where their thoughts are. The fear that they feel. When you're overcome with fear and you have a fear of things in reality, or you're holding fear within yourself just by your own thoughts, that is when we actually attract situations that create more fear for us. When we are abusive to ourselves and our own thoughts, that is when we allow other people to be verbally or physically abusive to us. Someone who has true self-worth, that believes they are worthy and deserving and loving, and that type of person would never allow another person to come into their life and physically hurt them mentally or physically. That's how the law of attraction works. And when it comes to the art of allowing, it's important to understand that we allow things into our life based off of how we choose to show up. Another quote by Abraham Hicks is, "Usually there's much more of your time spent in thought of negative things that has happened than in the actuality of what is happening." That just goes right along with everything I just said. The fact that when we are thinking and focusing on negative things that have happened in the past, that have happened to us, that are happening in the current reality, that don't even affect us physically, that is when we start attracting more. And that's such a big mistake because, again, we don't want to be attracting that kind of stuff in our life, right? You're watching this because you want to manifest something greater for yourself. You want to master manifestation in a way that allows you to live a really beautiful life. And this is the key. It's by changing your focus, and it's by changing your attention and what you put your energy and emotions and your thoughts into every single day. I'd love for you to take a quick moment and comment in the description below. Give me some comments about what you are not allowing into your life. What are you focusing on that's actually holding you back from allowing abundance in, from allowing joy in? What are you focusing on, or what are you resisting? What are you trying to push against, whether it's politics, whether it's people that you disapprove of in your life? What is actually holding you back? And I want you to do this not only because more engagement on this video will allow this video to reach more people, because I believe it's such important content, but I also want you to comment here because I want you to be aware of what ways in your life you are not allowing. So take a quick moment to think about how you are showing up for your life, in which ways you might not be allowing things, that you might be resisting things, so that you can actually apply this, right? It's how we choose to actually implement this into our life that's going to make the biggest difference. It's one thing to hear me talk to you and preach to you about shifting and creating more allowance in your life, but first it starts with recognizing, where am I not allowing things? What am I putting up with or tolerating that I'm not enjoying? And how can I shift that so that I actually stop being a victim of what I'm experiencing and take back your control and allow yourself to experience the joy and manifestation that you truly desire. Another quote from Abraham Hicks: "One who tolerates is feeling negative emotions. One who is an allower does not feel negative emotions. And that is the very difference, for it is the absence of negative emotion that is freedom. You cannot experience freedom when you have negative emotions." I think freedom is something we all want to experience in our life. And the truth is, you can always have freedom. You can have freedom by choosing how you show up, how you think, and how you feel. And so simply by changing your perspective, by changing your focus, that gives you freedom. It's as simple as that. Things in your external reality don't have to change in order for you to experience freedom. Another great quote is, "The not allowing of self is usually where the not allowing of others comes forth. Usually the one who is most disapproving of a quality in himself notices that same quality in others and disapproves of it there as well." And so in accepting and approving and appreciating and in allowing of oneself is first in appreciating, approving, or allowing of others. This is so important because I think most of us at some point in our life feel a sense of unworthiness. We feel regret and and fear over some of the things that we've maybe done in the past. Like, we're very resentful towards ourselves. We have high expectations of who we expect ourselves to be, who we want to be, and often we feel like we can never live up to it. There's a sense of unworthiness. There are things that we are upset at ourselves for not changing. We get upset that we can't change our habits, or that we're always focusing on the negative, and we get really hard on ourselves. And this is a pattern that I see with so many of my clients, and it was something that I did for most of my life. But as we become aware of that, and as we start to heal ourselves, as we choose to love ourselves more, choose to realize that we are 100% worthy of receiving everything we desire without having to shift and change, that is when the magic happens. That's when suddenly we no longer put ourselves in despair. We no longer get overwhelmed because we're hard on ourselves all the time. But it's also when we start becoming more loving towards everyone else. We become more giving. We start allowing other people to be where they are. We honor and appreciate where they are on their journey, even though maybe we have some lessons that we have learned above them, and we can see the reality of what they're creating for themselves, or even vice versa. It's about allowing everyone to be where they are on their own journey, and just loving and accepting them where they are, and being like, hey, it's okay. Hey, I've been there. Like, I get you. Or even if you don't get them, just having some compassion for where other people are in their life is so essential. And also having compassion and understanding for where you are in your journey. Honestly, often we look at where we are at this point in time, and then we think, gosh, I really wish I was here. These are all the goals I want to create. And we forget to look at how far we've come, how far we have grown, and to be proud of who we have become over the last few years and decades. So just take a moment, love yourself, honor yourself, and heal that worthiness within you so that you can be more loving, allowing, and compassionate for everything else and everyone else in your reality. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and also subscribe and hit that bell so that you get notified every time I have more episodes for you. I also have an awesome free download called Master Manifestation Faster, and that will give you all these guidelines, all these tips, tricks, and tools of the foundation of law of attraction so that you can truly manifest a life you desire. You can check it out in the description below. In the next episode, I'm giving you the #1 daily manifestation technique that you need in order to shift your life the fastest, right? It's about checking in and actually making those shifts. It's one thing to understand and know this. It's another thing to be diligent about applying these principles to your life so that you continue to manifest things faster and faster and faster. You're already a great manifester. You just need to train yourself so that you actually get the results that you desire in your life. If you love this episode, be sure to check out these other manifestation episodes and law of attraction episodes here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so honored to be a part of your journey. I'm so honored to be here to guide you and help you and serve you. Be sure to comment and let me know if there's any videos that you would like to see so that I can help you reach all of your goals so much faster.